Okay, so this is the practice quiz for week 6. And we're going to start with number 1. Number 1, we have 2 examples we're going to do. And it says, in each of the following, give the expanded form of the decimal number. So this is decimal number, we know that, and we have to write the expanded form. So in order to do that, remember what you need to do? We need to write it. So the first one is 327. So it's going to be 300 plus 20 plus 7. And then the decimal is going to be 0.4 and 0.03. And then from here, we're going to change these to exponents, base 10 and exponents. Now, 3 is going to be represented as 3 times 10 exponent what? Exponent 2, right? Because there are 2 zeros. 10 squared is 100. Okay, that's how you remember what is the exponent. And then you continue plus 2 times 10 to the first, and then plus 7 times 10 to the 0. And then after that, you're going to do the negative exponent. So it's going to be 4 times 10 to the negative 1, and 3 times 10 to the negative 2. And this is my answer. Okay, any questions? Everybody understand that? So far, so good? Okay, then let's do it one more time. So it's 29,145.375. So we're going to write it first like 20,000 plus 9,000 plus 100 plus 40 plus 5. And then you're going to continue with the decimal plus, I'm going to make a little more room so I can put everything here. Okay, then you're going to continue the decimal part. So you're going to continue with 0.3 plus, I'm going to write it here, 0.07 and then 0.005. And then you're going to start with the change it to exponent. So that's how you show your work. So it's going to be 2 times 10. Now, what is the exponent for 10? How many zeros you have? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So it's going to be 10 to the 4. Then you continue plus 9 times 10 to the how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, cube. Plus 100 is going to be 1 times 10 to the square, because 100 have 2 zeros. And then you continue with 4 times 10 to the first. And then 5 times 10 to the 0. Don't forget this 10 to the 0. And then plus 3 times 10 to the negative 1. And you have 2 more to go. 7 times 10 to the negative 2. And 5 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay, and that's it. All this is my answer. Okay, any questions? So just expanding it. Okay, then we're going to continue with number 2. And number 2 is pretty much going backwards. So they give me the expanded form. And we need to get the decimal. So you have to put it together, right? So here what you need to do, you need to see where is the decimal first. The decimal is between 10 to the 0 and 10 to the negative 1. So this is where my decimal is going to be. So my number is going to be 0 point, because in front of the 10 to the 0 is 0. And then, so the decimal is right here between 0 exponent and negative 1 exponent. And then you're going to have, after the decimal, you have 3, 2. You're just taking the numbers, 3 and 2. So the numbers give you the digits in that number, in the decimal number. and the exponent give you the position for your number. Make sense? 0.32 is my answer. So let's do it one more time. So here we have 10. Make sure when you start writing the answer, make sure you have all the exponents, because if one of the exponents is missing, you have to put 0. So here we have 10 to the 4, 10 cubed, 10 2, 10 1, 10 0. So after 10 0, I need to put decimal, and then 10 to the negative 1. So my number is going to be 4 0 6. We're just collecting the numbers in front of the 10. 6, and then 2 and 1, and then 0.4. Okay, that's all. This is my decimal number. Okay, then in the next example, we have here number 3. We need to convert the decimal to binary. Okay, usually this little 10, you don't put it down, but I just put it just in case, just to make sure you understand this is decimal number. And then the binary number, you're just going to change it. You're going to put the 2 in the end. Okay, so now how are you going to convert 43,034 decimal? So here we can do division by 0. I'm sorry, division by 2, or you can do start subtracting. But it's 43, it's a huge number, so probably it's better to start dividing by 2. That's a better approach to start here. Because if you subtract, you need to see which exponent for 2 is a number close to 43,000. It's a huge number. So for this case, it's better to start dividing by 2 and get the remainders. So I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to start with 43,034, and I'm going to divide by 2. And what is that? If they divide evenly, right? Obviously, you divide evenly. So 43,034, when I divide by 2, it's going to be 21,517 with remainder 0. Okay? Then I'm going to take the number I get, the quotient 2,175. 21,517, and I'm going to divide it by 2, and that's going to be 10,758 with remainder 1. Then I'm going to start with 10,758. I'm going to divide it by 2 again. So that's 5, 3, 7, 9. Remainder 0. And then I'm going to go to the next one is 5379. And I'm going to divide it by 2. It's going to be 2,689 with remainder 1. Okay, that's good. Everybody understand that? 2,689. I'm going to divide it by 2 again. It's going to be 1,344 with remainder 1. And then I go to the next one again, 1,344. Divide by 2. So when you divide 13 by 2 is 6, 7, 2, remainder 0. And then 672, when I divide by 2, is going to be 3, 3, 6, remainder 0. Okay, let me double check. 3, 6, 9, 2. And then I go 336 divided by 2 is going to be 336 is 168. Remainder 0 again. 168 divided by 2 is 84. Remainder 0. Okay? Everybody following me? Then continue. 84 is going to be, what is that? 42. And then I do 42 divided by 2. It's going to be 21. Remainder 0, right? And then I'm going to continue in this side. So I have 21 divided by 2, 10 with remainder 1, then 10 divided by 2, 5 with remainder 0, 5 divided by 2 is 2 with remainder 1, 2 divided by 2, 1 with remainder 0, and then 1 divided by 2 is 0 with remainder 1. Okay, so we're done to get the answer. How you get your answer? The answer starts from the bottom. So my answer starts from 1 all the way to the end, right? It's a huge number, right? It's a huge binary number. So I'm going to try to write it here. So my binary number is 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. That's what I have here, right? 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay? And then I continue down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. And then I have 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. This is my binary number. It's a huge number, right? Because we have 43,000. Okay, so this is my answer. And this is easier way to do it, by the way, for this huge number. So if you have huge number like this, it's better to divide. And I can, if you want, you can break it in nibbles, 4 digits. So it's kind of easy to see. Okay, there are 4 nibbles or 2 bytes. Okay, so everybody understand that? Any questions how we change the decimal to binary? Any questions? Okay, let's do the next one then. And the next one is, oops. Next one is this one. Oh, come on now. Okay, so we're gonna do, oh, come on, hold on. Okay, this is the next one. Okay, so we have 210.4. Now, because we have decimal, you can do, here it's 210 is not that big number. So if you want, you can do it the other way. You can do it with, we can just get the, like a little table for 210 and then see 210. So I'm going to do it separate. 210, you're going to do it one way, and then you're going to start with 0.4, another way. So let's start with 210. So the table for power of 2 are 1, 2, 4, 6, I'm sorry, not 6. Why I get 6? I don't know. 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and then, okay, I need to move it. 128. You know what? I'm going to move it here so I can have room. We have 128, and then the next one is going to be 256. So I'm going to just write it like this. 256, 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to use this to represent 210. 210 is smaller than 256, so we're going to use 128 plus what? So here we're going to subtract 210 minus 128. What is that? It's 82, right? Now, 82, the smallest close to 82 is 64. So I'm going to subtract 64. So I'm going to put 64 here. Okay. And when I subtract 64 from 82, I'm going to get 18. Now, the closest to 18 is what? 16. I'm going to subtract 16. And 18 minus 16 is 2. So I'm going to represent 210 as 128 plus 64 plus 16 plus 2. Okay? So when I add these numbers, I should get 210. So let's double check. 128 plus 64 plus 16 plus 2 is 210. Okay? Now, let's see which numbers I'm using so I can put the ones in that places and 0 in the rest of it. So I'm using 128. So I'm having 1. So I start from here, 1. And then 64 I'm using, and 16 and 2. And the rest of it is zeros, right? Okay? So that's my binary number. 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Everybody understand that? So 210 is the number 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, and you need to put decimal point, the point. And then after that, you need to do 0.4. And this is another method of doing the decimal part. So now we're going to do 0.4. So when you do 0.4, you're going to start with 0.4 and you're going to multiply by 2. What is 0.4 times 2? It's 0.8, right? Okay. Then you're going to take the decimal part only, which is 0.8. You're going to multiply by 2 again. So that's 2 times 8 is 1.6, right? And then you're going to take the 0.6. You're going to multiply it by 2. It's going to be 1.2. And you're going to get the decimal part again, 0.2 times 2. It's going to be 0.4. Okay? And then 0.4 times 2 is going to be 0.8. And you see it's repeating itself, right? So if you have something like that to repeat, you can stop it somewhere because it's kind of, the next one is going to be 1, right? So sometimes the decimal, after the decimal point, the numbers after the decimal point, sorry, I'm just going to move this a little bit. And if you want, we can, you can just continue 0.8, you take the decimal, multiply by 2 is going to be 1.6. You have a pattern here. See, it's repeating. So that means from here you can stop wherever you want, okay, pretty much. So like just when you get to the cycle, to repeating part, you can stop there. Okay, so I decide to stop here. So what is going to be on, so you start from the top, and after the decimal, you're just going to get only the whole parts. This is your binary number. So you go down, see if you have, so after the decimal, I'm going to put 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, and you can stop there. Okay? Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. For this one, would it be correct if you stopped when it started to repeat, which is at 0.4?
Yes, you can stop there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, if you want, we can kind of decide how many decimal you want after the, how many digits after the point. Okay, you can do.
I also have a question.
Yes.
So you know how you put the first beginning where you put 11010010
Yes.
in the red? Do you have to put a 0 in the front of that 1 because of 256?
No. Yes. Yes. Thank you for asking that. Yes, you don't put the 0 because the 0 in front and the 0 after, they're insignificant. If you have like 2.3, for example, doesn't matter if it's binary or whatever number. If I put zeros in front, they don't add value to the number. Or if you put zeros after the decimal like this, these zeros doesn't add value to the number. Okay, so you don't have to put the 0 here for 256. Yes, that's a good question. Yes. Okay. Is there any questions? Any other questions? I'm just copying this so I can have it and then delete this. Any other questions? Everybody understand this? So this is going from decimal to binary. Okay. And then let's do one more of those. We have one more example where we're going to do the same. And I'm just going to move it so I can have a little more room. Okay, so here we have 3.625. So again, you're going to do the whole part and you're going to do the decimal part. So 3, what is the binary representation of 3? So these are the digits I'm going to use. 1, 2, and 4. Obviously, 3 is the small. 3 is going to be 2 plus 1 is 3, right? So it's going to be 1 and 1. Because 3 is 2 plus 1. Yes? So the number 3 is going to be represented as binary 1 and 1, and then I have the point, and then I'm going to do after the decimal. And after the decimal, I have 625. So I'm going to start multiplying. 0.625 multiplied by 2. What is that? And you can use calculator in this. You don't have to do it in your head. Just use your cell phone or something to multiply. By 2 is 1.25. And I'm going to get the decimal part, which is 0.25. And I'm going to multiply by 2. So what is that? Times 2 is 0.5, right? Then I'm going to get the 0.5. And I'm going to multiply it by 2. And that's going to give me 1.0. So this is decimal which stop. Because if I get the decimal which is 0, and I multiply by 2, it's going to be 0. So it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So continue. So if you get 1.0, that's where you stop. Okay? Everybody understand that? So if you multiply the decimal part and you get 1.0, you stop there. Okay? And then, so here, remember the decimal part, you have to go from the top to the bottom, and you get only the whole part. So after the decimal, I'm going to put 1, 0, 1, and that's my decimal number. Any questions on this? Any questions? Okay, so that's how you do decimal to binary. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the next question, where we have to convert to decimal. Okay, binary, you have to convert to decimal. So this is backwards. So we have a binary number, we're going to convert to decimal. Here you can expand it. I'm going to show both ways. So you can expand it, or you can just use that little table you memorize. Okay? So I'm going to do, let's do it two ways. So first way, I'm going to expand it. So I'm going to have 101, 1101. So the first one is 2 to the 0, right? Then you have 2 to the first, and then 2 squared is 4, and then 8, and then 16, and then 32, and then 64, right? That's what you have. It's kind of squeezed. Let me write it better. Okay, so you start with 2 to the 0. It's the last one here is 2 to the 0. Then you have to the first, to the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. 2 to the 6 is the last one. So you start from 2 to the 6 and end to 2 to the 0. So you're going to expand it like this. 1 times 2 to the 6 plus 0 times 2 to the 5th plus 1 times 2 to the 4th. And then you have 1 times 2 to the cube plus 1 times 2 squared, 0 times 2 to the first, and 1 times 2 to the 0. So you expand it like this, and then after that, whatever is 0, you cross it out because it doesn't give you a value. So you're going to cross the zeros, and then you're going to do the exponents of 2 and add it. So what is 2 to the 6? So we have 2 to the 0 is 1. This is 4, 8, 16. This is 32, and this is 64, right? So what you need to do to transfer to decimal, you have to add 64. I'm going to write it here. So that's equal, you add in 64 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1. And when I add those numbers, I'm going to get my answer. Okay? So we have 64 plus 16 is 80. 80 plus 13, right? So this is 80. And this is 13. So it's 93, yes? Okay, everybody understand that? So that's one way when you expand it and then simplify it and get the decimal. Another way is if you get that little table we had with the power of 2. So I'm going to do the next one over here. I'm going to leave a little room. And we have, so I'm going to start with, we have 2. I'm going to write it like this. So I have 2 to the 0. So just kind of get the idea how many digits you need. 2 to the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 2 to the 7. Okay. So 2 to the 6 is 64, right? And 2 to the 7 is 128. So you're going to start with 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. And then the number the decimal, the binary number given is 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. Oh, sorry, I missed something. Hold on. 1. Oh, that's right. Okay, I got it. It's good. It's good. So I have 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Yes, that's right. So whatever I have 1, I need to add those numbers. So I need to add 128 plus 64 plus 32. I'm not including 16. I'm adding 8 and I'm adding 1. So when I add those numbers, that's going to be my decimal number. Okay? So let's see. We have 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 8 plus 1 is 9. So that's give me 233. Okay? If you guys want to double check. Any questions? Any questions? Everybody understand this? Okay, and then you have one more. Are you guys here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, good. Yes, thank you. Thank you, John, for helping out with the numbers. 233 is right. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm sorry, I just need to move it a little up. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next one. So the next one, we have another binary we have to transfer to decimal. So how you do that? We can, we need to do the front and the back also. So again, you can, here we can use, let's use the table. So we're gonna use that little binary table. So I have 2 to the 0, have 2 to the 0 to 2 square, right? So it's going to be, and then you have 2 to the negative 1, negative 2. This is 2 to the negative 3. Okay? So you start with 4. This is the little table you need to remember. 4 to 1. And then you have the point. And then after the decimal, the numbers goes like this. So it's going to be like 1 divided by 2. It's going to be 0.5. The next digit is going to be like 0.5 divided by 2, right? They're going to be, the next one is going to be 0.25. And then the next one is going to be 0.125. So these are the digits after the decimal. Okay? So you have the decimal, the point is here. And these are the digits. So now your number, the decimal, the binary number is 1, 0, 1. And then you have 1, 0, 1. So what that means, I'm going to add 4 plus 1 in front. And then I'm going to add also 0.5 and 0.125. And when I do that, when I add those numbers, I'm going to get 4 plus 1 is 5. And when I add 0.5 and 0.125, it's going to be 625, right? So this is the decimal number. Okay? Any questions? Everybody good? Okay. So let's go ahead and continue with the next one. Number 5. We're going to do addition and see if we can, we're going to stop. We can do addition, subtraction. Let's see. So the next one is addition, how you add two binary numbers. So we're going to just first, you're going to start putting them under each other. We're going to line them up. So you have 1, 0, 1, 0. You're going to add it with 1, 0, 0, 1. and you start adding from the left. So 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 0. And you carry 1. And that 1 is going to bring down. So this is my answer. This is the binary number. So now when you add, I'm going to just write the rules here. When you add 1 plus 1 binary, the answer is 0 and you carry 1 binary. When you have 3 of those, 1 plus 1 plus 1 binary, the answer is 1 and you carry 1. Okay, so that was the rule. Now let's go ahead and continue with the next one. Okay, and again, when you add or subtract, you can go to decimal and double check it that way. Okay, so the next one is the same way, but you're going to line it up with the decimal point. So we're going to line it with the decimal. So we have, let's write it like this. So it's going to be, the first one is 1 point. Oops, I wanted to change the color. Okay, so we have 1.0101, and you're going to add it with 0.101. Make sure you line it up, right? And you're adding it. So when I add it, here I can add additional 0 because after the decimal, you know, in the end, you can put as many zeros you want, okay? The same way in front, it's kind of 0. You don't have to put it, but if you want, you can put it. And then you're going to start adding them. So this is also binary. And you're adding 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0, 1. 1.1. And this is my answer in binary. Okay? Any questions? So far, so good. Everybody good? Okay. Then we're going to continue with subtraction, how you subtract binary numbers. So when you subtract, I'm going to give you the rules here again. I'm going to just go over the rules. When you subtract, I'm going to just give you like example. If you have to carry, if you have to borrow from something, like usually when you subtract 1 minus 0, that's 1, right? 0 minus 0, obviously 0. But if you have to do 0 minus 1, then you have to borrow from the symbol, from the number before. So I'm just going to give you some examples. So let's say I have 1, 0, 0, 0, and I want to subtract 1. Okay, so when I do that, see, when I do 0 minus 1, I need to go and borrow. So when you borrow, you go to the one before, it doesn't have anything to borrow, it's 0, right? The next one is also 0, and you go to the previous one, which is 1, and this one become a 0. Now the 0, the next 0 become 1, 1, and this become 2. Remember, that's how I explained to you. You use these 2. And then you do the subtraction. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and then you bring down the other one, and you bring down the other one. So this is how you subtract when you need to go ahead and borrow. Okay? So that's the rule you're going to use. So let's go ahead and line up the given examples given. So you have to subtract. You're going to line them up. So you subtract 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 1, 0, 1. These are very easy examples, right? We don't have to borrow too much. So we have 1 minus 1 is 0, obviously. 1 minus 0 is 1, and then 0 and 0. So these 2 zeros in front are insignificant, so you don't have to write them. So my answer is 1, 0, binary. Okay? Everybody understand this? Any questions? And you have one more example. Let's do the next example the same way. So the next example, we're gonna do the same. We're gonna line them up and you're gonna subtract. So we have, let's see, you have 4, 4. So I have 1, 0, 1, 1. You have two nibbles. 4, and you subtract 1, 0, 1, 0. That's why it's easy to have it in the nibbles, so you can kind of line them up better. Okay, and then you're going to start subtracting. So we have you start from this way, right? And all of these are binary. Let's put that little 2. So 1 minus 0, obviously it's 0. Oh, no, it's not 0. It's 1, right? 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then you have another 0, another 0. And you just bring down the rest of it. Okay? So that's my answer. Now, we still have the two nibbles, right? This one and this one. And that's how you're going to write the answer. So my answer is 1, 0, 0, 0. And then 0, 1, 0, 1. That's my answer. Okay, any questions? So it looks like the questions you have, the actual quiz is going to be easy like this, right? Okay, the next one is multiplying. So how you multiply? We have like a few more minutes. You guys want to go over this? Okay, so next one is multiplying. So when you multiply, we're gonna we have to put it in that specific way, right? We have to put it under each other, and you're gonna start multiplying. So we have 1, 0, 1, 0. I'm gonna multiply by 1, 1, 1. So we're gonna start multiplying 1 times everything. So 1 times everything is the same. 1, I'm sorry, no. I just need to copy that. 0, 1, 0, 1. Then I have to put the 0 to line it up, to move it. And then I'm going to the next one, which is this digit here, 1. Multiply by everything is going to be, just copy that. So it's going to be 0, 1, 0, 1. And then after that, I'm going to the third digit here. But also I have to move it 2 places. I need to put 2 zeros. So this is when I move it 1 place, and this is when I move in 2 places, right? And then I multiply 1 times everything, means I need to copy that, 0, 1, 0, 1. And then after that, I have to add all these numbers. So I'm adding 0 plus 0 plus 0, it's a big 0. And I need to put that little cookie in the end. And then I'm adding 1 plus 0, 0 is 1. And the next one is going to be 1. Now here I have 1 plus 1, that's 0. And I need to carry 1 more here. And then I have 1 plus 1 is also 0. And I need to carry 1 more here. And again, 1 plus 1 is 0. And I carry 1 to the next one. And this should be my final answer. So when I multiply those two numbers, this is what I get. Okay? So that's my answer. Then we're going to go ahead and do the next one. Example is the same idea, the same way. So we're going to do the same. And we're going to line them up, and you're going to start multiplying them. So let's write them down. So we have 1, 0, 1, 1. I want to multiply by 1, 0, 1, 0. You have 4 digits, right? So we're going to start again with this, the last one. Multiply by everything. So 0 times everything is 0. So I'm just going to put 4 zeros. and I have to put that. And then after that, I'm gonna do this one, 1 times everything. But I need to put the 0 to shift it, and then I'm gonna copy 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay? Then I'm gonna go ahead and do this 0 times everything. But first I need to put the 2 zeros to space it, to move it to the left, and then I need to put 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And after that, I need to go ahead and do the next one, which is this one here. So I need to put 3 zeros to space it. And then I need to multiply 1 times this is going to be the same. So it's going to be 1, 1, 0, and 1. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and add all these 4 rows. So I'm going to start 0, 0. That's going to give me 0. Then I have a 1, and then another 1, and another 1. And then here I have 1 plus 1 is 0, and I carry 1, and that's 1 and 1. So just bring it down. And that's my final answer. Okay? Any questions about multiplying? No? Everybody good? Okay, then you have division. So I'm going to divide. Now we're going to go ahead and divide. Let's do it like that. And I'm going to divide these two numbers. So when you divide, you also have to put it in that specific way. So you divide this by this. So I need to put it, let's write it like, so I'm going to write it like this. And I have to put 101 here, binary. And inside, I need to put 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, like that. And then I'm going to start dividing. So these are 3 digits here, right? 3 digits. I'm going to look at the 3 digits inside. So how many times 101 goes in 101? Obviously 1 time, right? So I'm going to put 1 time here. And I'm multiplying. 1 times 101 is the same, 101. And then when I subtract, I'm going to get 0, 0, 0. Then after that, I'm going to bring the next digit down, which is a 0. Now, how many times this number goes in 0? 0 times. I'm going to put the 0. Then after that, I need to bring the next digit, which is 1. Okay? And then technically, these zeros are kind of insignificant. So 1 is 1 digit. 101 is 3 digit, doesn't go in it. So that means it's going to be 0 times. And then I need to bring the next one, which is 0. And that's going to give me another 0 here. And then I'm going to bring the next one down, which is exactly the same, 101. And that's going to give me, when I divide it, it's going to be 1. And then when I subtract, I'm going to get 0. Okay? So this is my answer. Any questions? Any questions? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay, then let's go ahead and do the next one the same way. We have one more to go. So again, I'm going to write them down like that. I'm going to put, now this 0 in front is insignificant, so I don't have to put this 0. So it's just going to be 1, 1, 0. And then the number inside is going to be 1, 0, 0, 0. And then 0, 1, 0, 0. And then you're going to start 3 digits again because this is 3 and this is 3. Okay, so how many times 110 goes in 100? It doesn't go in, right? This is bigger. So that means I have to look at 4 digits. And it's going to be 1 time. 1 times 111 is 110 is 110. And then you're going to subtract. So 0 minus 0 is 0. Then you have to go ahead and borrow. So 0 minus 1 doesn't work, so you need to go here and here. So this becomes 0, this becomes 1, and this is 2, right? Everybody good so far? And then I subtract 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, and you bring down the 0. Okay? And these 2 zeros are insignificant, so you don't have to look at them. Then you're going to bring the next number down, which is 0. And 110, it's smaller, so I need to put 0 here. Then I'm going to bring the next one, which is 1. And this is 4 digits, so it's okay. We can divide by 110, which is 1 time. And when you multiply, you have 1, 1, and 0, and then you subtract. And then this is 1. Now we have to go ahead and borrow again. So we're going to cross this, and this becomes 0, 1, and 2. And then you subtract. So 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, and you bring that 0. So these are insignificant. So this is what you have so far, 1, 1, and then you're going to bring the next digit is 0, which is exactly what you have. So I'm going to put 1, and you subtract it, and this is 0. And then you're going to have to bring one more digit here, which is 0, and that's going to be 0, and you're done. Okay? And this is my final answer. Okay? Any questions? Let me know.
Yes, ma'am. Is this going to be available on Blackboard?
Yes, I'm going to save it and attach it in Blackboard, and also the recording, I'm going to post it on Blackboard for everything. Everything is going to be on Blackboard. Okay?
Thank you.
So this is the welcome. So this is the practice quiz for week 6.